Hello and welcome. There's more to Microsoft Word than just typing out endless paragraphs of text on a blank page. Did you know that you can format text to change its colour and size, or even its position on the page? Or you can add a table to your document to display important data. You can also display data and other information using lists. In this module, you'll explore how to work with text, tables and lists. Along the way, you'll learn how to format text and paragraphs, display text as list items, apply styles, and add tables to a document. You'll also learn how to format tables, sort table data, control cell layout, and finally, you'll discover how to manage lists. By the end of this module, you'll be a pro with text, tables, and lists. So what are you waiting for? It's time to get to work. How do you make your Word document really stand out from the crowd? By formatting your text. Here's a look at how Westcal Publishing make use of formatting. Grace has been tasked with responding to some mail that Westcal has recently received. She must make sure that all replies are formatted according to Westcal's branding guidelines. With Microsoft Word, Grace can format the letter to match Westcal's brand. In this lesson, you'll also learn how to use the formatting features in Microsoft Word. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to apply character formatting, align text using tabs, and display text as list items. Before you begin, you should know what text formatting is, along with the different formatting methods available to Microsoft Word users. Microsoft Word offers a wide variety of formatting options that you can apply to your text. Whether you want to create a straightforward, simple design or a vibrant, modern look, Microsoft Word has all the tools that you need. There are several formatting methods available in Word, including fonts, the font group commands on the Home tab, highlighting text, the Format Painter, and the Mini toolbar. Fonts are one of the most important elements in formatting. A font is a complete set of characters with typeface and style used to create text in your document. Fonts come in a range of different styles. Some fonts are all capitals, while other fonts are all symbols. The key thing to remember is that fonts are very customizable. You can change different elements of a font, including size, type, color, spacing, and effects, along with other options. The fonts that are available in Word depend on what other applications are installed and if you have installed any extra font packages. However, Word and Windows come with quite a few fonts pre-installed, so you have plenty of choice to begin with. Here's a sample of some different fonts. To alter a font, you typically select the text that you want to change. You may have noticed the Mini toolbar pop up if you move your mouse near or right-click selected text. The toolbar contains the most frequently used formatting commands. Here's a quick look at each option. Select these drop-down menus to change the font face and size. Use these buttons to nudge the font size up or down. Click this icon to toggle the Format Painter. This lets you copy the text formatting from the selected text and paint it onto another text. Apply bold, italic or underlining effects to the text. Select this icon to highlight text. Click the drop-down arrow for additional highlighting colors. You can also change font color. Click the drop-down arrow for additional font colors. Apply bullets or numbers to the selected text. Click the drop-down arrow to choose a style, and apply a style to the selected text. You can explore more formatting commands on the font group of the Home tab. The two drop-down menus on the top row of this group allow you to change font face and size. Next to those menus, you will find commands to nudge the font size up or down, change the case of the selected text, and clear formatting from text. On the second row of this group, the first 6 buttons allow you to apply bold, italic, underline, strike through, superscript, and subscript formatting. Each button shows you an example of what that formatting looks like. The underline command also has a drop-down arrow that allows you to customize the line's appearance. Next, you will see commands to apply text effects, highlight text, and change the font color. Note that these final 2 commands work in the same way. You can click the button to change the color of the text to the one displayed on the button, or click the drop-down arrow to choose a new color. Finally, the Option button opens the font dialog box. This box gives you control over all these settings, as well as some advanced options. There are times when you might want to draw attention to a particular part of a document. You can do this using the text highlighting options. To highlight text, first select the text you want to highlight. Then click the Text Highlight Color command on the Home tab to apply the color shown on the button. You can also click the drop-down arrow and click a different color. You can also apply highlighting without selecting text. Just click the Text Highlight Color command first and then use your cursor to click and drag over the text that you want to highlight. Click the Text Highlight Color command again to turn off this feature. You can remove highlighting by selecting the text and clicking No Color on the Text Highlight Color menu. The Text Highlight Color command can also be found on the mini toolbar. You can also print a document with highlighted text. To show or hide highlighting for printing or display, click or uncheck the Show Highlighter Marks option in the Display category of the Word Options dialog box. Word can copy and paste text with or without formatting. But did you know that Word can also copy just the formatting from text? First, select the text that has the formatting that you want to duplicate. Next, click the Format Painter icon on the Home tab or the mini toolbar. You can also use the Ctrl-Shift and C and the Ctrl-Shift and V shortcuts. Your cursor will turn into a paintbrush. Now select the text that you want to format. The new text will take the format of the old text. The Format Painter command will also become deselected. To apply the same formatting to multiple items, double-click the Format Painter and then select as many items as you want. When you are done formatting, click the Format Painter icon again to turn it off. Remember that formats are not stored on the clipboard, and you can only copy formatting for one set of text at a time. The Format Painter captures all kinds of formats, including font formatting and paragraph formatting such as borders, fills and shading, bullets and numbering, and columns. You're now familiar with how to apply the wide variety of formatting options available in Word to your document. And you know how to manage the tools and features. Great start. Have you ever tried to create a document where you need text to appear in different positions on the page? With Microsoft Word, you can align text wherever you need it to appear on the page. Find out how this feature is used over at Westcal Publishing. Westcal Publishing is preparing to distribute a list of printing services they provide to students. Grace is using Word to create the list of these services, along with their respective prices. She must list the printing services while making sure that the prices are aligned to the decimal point. The Decimal tab feature in Microsoft Word is the perfect tool for this task. Grace can use the decimal tool and other alignment features to complete her task by altering the alignment of her text. Tabs and other text alignment tools and features let you customize exactly where your text appears on the page. So what alignment tools and features does Microsoft Word offer to users like Grace? Tabs and tab stops control where your text is horizontally aligned. You can customize and create tab stops using the ruler. And you can also set tabs using the Tabs dialog box. So, how do you align text using these tools and features? By default, Microsoft Word sets a left tab stop every ½ inch, but you can customize these however you like. When you press the Tab key, the cursor will move to the preset tab location. This is much more efficient and consistent than pressing space multiple times. You can also create and customize tab stops using the ruler tool. The ruler is a great way to line up objects and perform many other tasks. By default, the ruler is hidden. To display it in your document, just select View and then Ruler. Here's an overview of the ruler tabs. The ruler offers 5 main types of tabs. With the left tab, text starts at the left point and flows to the right. With the right tab, text starts at the right and flows to the left. The Center tab centers text on a point. The Decimal tab is used to align numbers around a decimal point. Finally, there are bar tabs. These tabs are the only type that do not affect text. They just place a vertical bar at the point of the tab. To set a tab stop on the ruler, make sure that the ruler is displayed and that the text that you want the tab to apply to is selected, or that the paragraph is active. Now click the tab selector on the ruler to choose the type of tab you want to apply. Click on the ruler to place the tab. Now, when you place the cursor on the start of this line and press Tab or click Home and then Indent, the created tab is applied. You can remove a tab by dragging it off the ruler. Another way to set tabs is using the Tabs dialog box. To start, select the text or paragraphs to which you want to apply the tabs. Then click the Option button in the paragraph group of the Home tab. In the paragraph dialog box that opens, click the Tabs button. The Tabs dialog box opens. At the top of this dialog box, you can set where you want the tab to be positioned. Then you can set its alignment or type and leading character. Once these options are set, click the Set button to create the tab. You can also clear the selected tab or clear all tabs with this dialog box. Finally, you can also set the default tab stops to whatever interval you desire. When you have finished setting your tab options, click OK to implement your settings or click Cancel to discard your changes. You're now up to speed with using Microsoft Word's text alignment tools to customize the placement of text in your Word document. When creating documents, you may need to display text as list items, or perhaps you might need to add a numbered list. Microsoft Word is perfect for these tasks. Head over to Westcal and see how they use list items. A medical student has written to Westcal requesting a list of books that the company has published in their field. Grace has been tasked with responding to the student's inquiry. She must create a document that provides the titles as a numbered itemized list. You can create 3 types of lists in Microsoft Word. The first of these is a bulleted list. With a bulleted list, each list item is marked with a character or symbol. You can also create a numbered list in which each item is identified with a number or letter. And finally, there are multi-level lists. You'll cover these at a later stage. But for now, it is enough for you to know that a multi-level list separates points, sub-points and sub-sub-points with various symbols, letters or numbers. So how do you display text in the form of different list items? To convert existing text to a bulleted list, first select the text. Then click the Bullets command in the paragraph group of the Home tab to apply the default formatting. The default bullets are applied. The Bullets command can also be found on the mini toolbar. You can also click the drop-down arrow next to the Bullets command to choose a different style. Note the Recently Used Bullets and Document Bullets section in the drop-down menu. Use these sections to quickly pick a recently used item or a type of list already used in the document to maintain consistency. To create a list while you type, click the Bullets command. Type the information for the first bullet and then press Enter to move to the next line. Once you have finished entering the items in your list, press Enter twice to signify the end of the list. To convert existing text to a numbered list, first select the text. Then click the Numbering command in the paragraph group of the Home tab to apply the default formatting. The default numbering style will then be applied. The Numbering command can also be found on the mini toolbar. You can also click the drop-down arrow next to the Numbering command to choose a different style. Just like with bulleted lists, the numbered list drop-down also contains recently used and document sections. To maintain consistency, use these sections to quickly pick a recently used item or type of list already used in the document. To create a list while you type, click the Numbering command. Type the information for the first number and then press Enter to move to the next line. Once you have finished entering the items in your list, press Enter twice to signify the end of the list. To further customize a list, just click the Define command at the bottom of any of the 3 drop-down menus. For example, here is the command for the Bullets drop-down menu. And here is the resulting dialog box. Note that each list type has a different dialog box. You now know how to use the available tools to create and customize simple bulleted and numbered lists in Microsoft Word. Great job! Working with text and paragraphs in a Word document involves applying borders and shading, applying styles and effectively managing formatting. Many companies have guidelines around formatting text in their documents. These guidelines are intended to reflect their branding. Here's an example of Westcal Publishing and their formatting guidelines. Grace is working on Westcal Publishing's latest report. This report will be distributed amongst management to show the progress of the business over the last few months. She's developing the report in Microsoft Word and needs to make sure that the formatting she uses for text and paragraphs reflects Westcal's branding. Microsoft Word offers several formatting tools Grace can use to make sure her report captures Westcal Publishing's specifications. We'll explore these tools over the course of this lesson and see how they can be used to create different kinds of formatting in Word documents. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to control the layout of different paragraphs, apply borders and shading to text, apply different styles to text, and manage formatting within a document. We'll start with controlling the layout of paragraphs. Some of the commonly used layout tools available in the Home tab of Microsoft Word include paragraph alignment options and indentation commands and markers, while tools and commands on the Layout tab include the Margins tool for changing page margins, line and paragraph spacing options, and hyphenation options. Over the next few minutes, you'll explore these tools and commands and learn how they can be used to control formatting in documents. Margins are the white space separating text from the edge of a page or another object. To change the page margins in your document, click the Margins button in the Page Setup group of the Layout tab. Then select a preset size. For more options, open the Page Setup dialog box. Here you can customize every aspect of your document's margins, as well as set the page orientation. Next up is the paragraph alignment options. You can find commands to align paragraph text in different ways in the Paragraph group of the Home tab. Each type of alignment indicates which margin the text lines up with. From left to right, you can apply left alignment or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl and L. Center alignment, available via the Ctrl and R shortcut. Right alignment, or Ctrl and E. And justification, where the text is spread out to take up the whole line, also activated with Ctrl and J. Just select the text you want aligned, then click your chosen alignment type. Make sure that you always have one type of alignment selected, or you can apply an alignment using the Paragraph dialog box. Open the dialog box using the Option button in the Paragraph group of the Home tab. You can also control a paragraph's layout with the use of indents. An indent is like a tab. The main difference is that it controls how far text appears from the margin. You can use indents to move text closer to or further away from the margin you desire. If you are creating an academic document, lengthy quotes are usually indented about ½ inch from each margin. Remember the two additional options from the Tab Selector button? There is the hanging indent and the first line indent. A first line indent only indents the first line of the paragraph, but a hanging indent does the opposite. It skips over the first line of the paragraph and instead indents the rest of the lines. To indent text, place your cursor in the paragraph that you want to indent. To indent a paragraph from the left very quickly, you can use the Increase Indent button on the Paragraph category of the Home ribbon. To set a left indent using this button, first place your cursor in the paragraph that you want to indent. Then click on Increase Indent. Each time that you click on the Increase Indent button, the paragraph will move ½ inch to the right. The Decrease Indent button can be used to reverse the indent if you no longer need it. Remember, if you want the indent to apply to a group of paragraphs, you will need to highlight them first. If you create an indent in a line that already has text, the indent will only be available for that paragraph. And indents can be moved just like tabs by dragging them around the ruler. You can move the triangles on the left and right edges of the ruler to set indent measurements. By dragging separate parts of the symbols on the left, you can set different types of indents. Drag the upper triangle to set a first line indent. Drag the lower triangle to set a hanging indent. And drag the box that the triangles sit on to set an indent for the whole paragraph. Next, here's a look at some indentation options that can be used to control how the indentation affects the paragraph. The indentation section of the Indents and Spacing tab in the Paragraph dialog box gives you finer control over related settings. Here you can place indents from the left or the right margins, or you can check Mirror Indents to create options for inside and outside indents. Note, the mirror indents are used in double-sided printing to correctly alternate the measurements from left to right. You could also choose a first line or hanging indent from the Special menu and then set the amount in the By field. What if you want to create more spacing between text in your document? There are a few options available. To change paragraph spacing, place your cursor in the paragraph that you want to change. Then click the Line and Paragraph Spacing command on the Home tab and choose the desired option. You can also choose to add or remove spaces around paragraphs. You can set these options in the Paragraph group of the Layout tab. If you click the line spacing options, the paragraph dialog box will open to the Indents and Spacing tab. Here you will find advanced spacing settings. When using the justified alignment, you might need to hyphenate a document. Rather than trying to manage it yourself, let Word do the hard work. First, click the Layout tab. Then click the hyphenation button in the Page Setup group. You can choose None, which ensures that the document is not hyphenated, Automatic to completely hyphenate your document, Manual, which will prompt you each time Microsoft Word thinks that a word needs to be hyphenated, and hyphenation options to open a dialog box with advanced settings. But what if you want to keep certain words together? Insert a non-breaking hyphen or non-breaking space from the symbol dialog box. You can also insert non-breaking elements using keyboard shortcuts. A non-breaking hyphen uses the Control, Shift and underscore shortcut. A non-breaking space uses Control, Shift and spacebar. You now know how to use layout tools to create documents that are easy to read and find information within. Well done. Applying borders and shading to a Word document is a useful way of adding colourful effects and custom designs to text. Grace is working on a booklet for one of Westcal's clients. The booklet includes many different sections of text, each of which needs to be divided by borders. The client has also asked that Westcal include shading on the borders to give them a unique look. Microsoft Word offers some great tools for applying borders and shading. Westcal can use these tools for their client's booklet. But before you explore how to apply borders and shading to a document, you must understand the difference between the two. The term border refers to a line that wraps around a page, paragraph or word. The term shading refers to a shadow effect applied to a selected text within a page. Now that you're familiar with the concepts of borders and shading, you can learn how to apply them to your Word documents. To begin, start with applying and formatting borders. To apply borders, select the text or paragraphs that you want to format. If you are just formatting one paragraph, you can simply place your cursor in it. Then click the Borders drop-down arrow on the Home tab. Each command in the list represents a different type of border. You can see a preview of each border by looking at the command icons. Choose what kind of border you want to apply. By default, Word will apply a half-point black border to all sides of the selection. However, if you have customized any of the border settings using the Borders and Shading dialog box, these options will be used instead. There are a few other border options that you can apply. The horizontal line option inserts a horizontal line from margin to margin at the point of your cursor. The Draw Table option changes the cursor to a pencil icon and lets you manually draw a table. However, this is only recommended for users with a graphics tablet. Select View Grid Lines to show or hide table grid lines. Finally, Borders and Shading opens the Borders and Shading dialog box. The Borders and Shading dialog box contains some important features. So here's an overview of the available formatting options. You can choose a basic setting from the list on the left. Then use the menus in the middle to choose a style, colour and width for your border. Next, use the buttons on the right-hand side to toggle parts of the border on or off. For example, you can select this icon and add a bottom line to your border. You can preview your choices as you decide which one to apply. You can also choose what section of your document you want to apply the settings to. And you can also open the Border and Shading Options dialog box. Now that we're familiar with borders, it's time to explore how you can add formatting and shading within your document. To apply shading, select the paragraph or text that you want to format. Next, click Home and then Shading to apply the default shading. Or click the drop-down arrow to choose another colour. You can choose from theme colours, standard colours, or no colour. You can also click More Colours to create a custom shade. Like with other formatting tools, you can preview each colour as you point to it. You can also apply further formatting to your shading using the dialog box. You can use the Shading tab within the dialog box to choose a fill colour, a style type, pattern colour, and area of application. Once you have made your choices, click OK to apply them. You're now familiar with the tools that you can use to apply borders and shading within your Microsoft Word documents. Great work! Microsoft Word's Styles feature can help you create professional-looking documents quickly and easily through a saved set of formatting options. Here's a quick look at how the Styles feature helped out Westcal Publishing. Grace has just created some unique formatting for a document that she's working on. She wants to use this formatting for another document, but it took a long time to set up. She needs to find a way to replicate it quickly and easily. Microsoft Word's Styles feature is perfect for this task. Grace can save her formatting options and then reuse them in other Word documents. A style is a saved set of formatting options that you can create and save within your Microsoft Word program. You can then apply it multiple times to new documents. This increases productivity, saves time, and ensures that your documents remain consistent. So, how does the Styles feature work in Microsoft Word? Microsoft Word includes a wide variety of themes, style sets, and specific styles that offer a great starting point for your document's design. The Styles gallery on the Home tab is where you find the most frequently used styles available in your document. Just click a style to apply it to the selected text. Click the More arrow in the bottom right-hand corner of the list to view the full gallery. And don't forget, there are more style sets available than just those in the gallery. To see what other styles are available, click the Design tab and check out the Style Sets gallery in the Document Formatting group. Just click a thumbnail from the gallery to apply the selected style set to your document. Like with the Styles gallery, you can click the More arrow to see all available style sets. Commands for saving and resetting the current style set are also available here. And you can customize your chosen style set with the Colors and Fonts menus on the Design tab. This is covered in a separate lesson. Next, explore the Styles task pane. The Styles task pane gives you access to all available styles. To open it, click the Option button in the Styles group on the Home tab. You can also use the shortcut Alt, Control, Shift and S. The Styles pane offers a list of features for you to choose from. The task pane itself can be managed in several ways. Click the arrow in the title bar to move, resize or close the pane. Click and drag the title bar to move the pane around the screen. You can also click X to close the pane. The style list is a list of the available styles that you can apply to your document. Select your text and then click your chosen style to apply it. There are also several style options that you can choose from. Enable or disable style preview and linked styles. This means that the list entry shows what the style will look like rather than just the name. Finally, there are style commands. From left to right, these buttons open the New Style dialog box, the Style Inspector, and Manage Styles dialog box, and the Style Options dialog box. Time to check out the next tools. The Style Inspector and the Apply Styles task pane. The Style Inspector tool shows the style and formatting applied to the currently selected text. It also offers you commands to manage them. The Apply Styles task pane is another useful tool. You can open it by clicking the More arrow in the Styles gallery and then Apply Styles. Or you can use the Control, Shift and S shortcut. This command opens a small window that lets you choose a style to apply to selected text. You can also modify styles or open the Styles task pane from this window. Finally, here's a look at how to apply styles within your document from the Styles pane. To apply a style, select the text that you want to format. Then click the style you want to apply from the Styles task pane. You can also access the Styles gallery and related commands from the mini toolbar. You can use styles the same way you use other formatting. Turn the style on, type your text, and then turn the style off. The style that the selected text is currently using is selected within the Styles pane and the Styles gallery. You now know how to apply styles within your Microsoft Word documents. With this new skill set, you'll be faster, more productive, and produce even more creative documents. Microsoft Word has a wide range of tools for applying formatting to text in a document. But what if you need to clear or even change formatting? How do you manage multiple formats in one document? Grace is creating a series of training manuals for a client. She needs to make sure that her manuals replicate the formatting options used in the client's sample documents. However, she's not sure what formatting options these documents use. With Microsoft Word, she can identify the formatting options using tools like the Reveal Formatting task pane. You can also manage formatting in your Word documents using these same formatting tools. With these tools, you can reveal the formatting options used on selected text, clear formatting from selected text, and find and replace all instances of formatting within a document. But how do these formatting tools work? Here's an exploration of some examples. To begin with, here's the Reveal Formatting task pane. The Reveal Formatting task pane is an extension of the Style Inspector. To open this task pane, open the Styles task pane. Click the Style Inspector command, and then click the Reveal Formatting command. Once you've opened the Reveal Formatting task pane, close the other task panes. This removes the clutter from your screen and makes it easier to navigate the tool. So what information is in the Review Formatting pane? The top of the task pane shows you the text that you are currently examining. If there's no text selected, then the tool examines the area around the cursor and displays the words Sample Text. You can also choose to view another selection and compare it to the current one. The body of the task pane shows the formatting elements of your selected text. These elements are separated into 3 levels: font, paragraph, and section. You can click the arrow beside each level to either show or hide its information. And below the levels are the details of each formatting element. Each of these elements is separated by type. You can use the blue hyperlink to open the specific dialog box for those settings. Finally, you can customize your view of the pane using the 2 checkboxes at the bottom. And don't forget that you can move, resize and close this task pane just like any other. I'm sure you often find yourself working on documents with formatting that you need to change. So how do you clear this formatting from the text and change it to your own? The easiest way is to click the Clear Formatting command on the Home tab. You can also reapply the normal style from the Styles gallery or the Styles pane. Did you know that you can also find and replace text throughout your document? This is useful if the formatting that you want to clear is restricted to a particular instance of text. To start, click Home and then Replace, or use the Ctrl and H shortcut. This brings up the Find and Replace dialog box. In the Find and Replace dialog box, click the More button. Check that your cursor is in the Find What field, then click the Format button. This opens a menu with different formatting options, and each command opens the related dialog box. As a simple example, you could choose Font. To begin, search for the instances of Cambria. Then click OK to return to the Find and Replace dialog box. The selected settings are shown below the Find What field. Then click in the Replace With field and repeat the same steps to choose a new format. In this instance, Calibri Light is selected as the replacement font. With the Replace command, one of the following 3 actions can now be performed. Replace the font 1 instance at a time, replace all to replace all instances of the format, and find next to find the next instance of this format. This same technique can also be used to apply formatting to a particular text throughout a document. For example, what if you were to bold and italicize the word community within the document? Enter community in both the Find What field and the Replace With field. Then use the Format and Font menu to specify the formatting to use. Click Replace All. The chosen formatting is then applied. As you've just seen, Microsoft Word offers a number of useful formatting tools. With these tools, you'll be able to manage formatting within any documents that come your way. Great work! Microsoft Word offers several useful features for adding tables to documents. Take a look at how Westcal makes use of tables in Word. Thomas is tasked with creating Westcal's quarterly financial report using Word. He needs to include the company's finances within the document. Thomas realizes that a table would be a great way to display this information. As you've just seen, Thomas can use Microsoft Word to create tables. In this lesson, you'll also learn how to use tables in Microsoft Word. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to insert tables into a Microsoft Word document, format tables within Word, and convert text to a table. Tables are an excellent way to organize content in a document. They provide an easy way to arrange text and format different areas of the page. They are also simpler to use than other tools that could achieve the same effects, such as multiple sections. Next, here's a look at the structure of a table. The first part of the table is rows, which are sections of data organized horizontally. Next, there's columns, which is data arranged in a vertical format. And finally, there are cells. These are small individual boxes that contain the actual data. So, how do you insert tables into a Word document? There are a few different ways to add tables. Take a moment to explore them. The easiest way to add tables in a document is to click Insert, then Table. Then drag out the dimensions of the table on the grid and click. The table appears in the document, ready for you to add text. If your table is larger than the grid shown in the menu, or if you are having trouble clicking and dragging, click the Insert Table command from the Table menu. Next, open the Insert Table dialog box. You can use this box to enter the number of columns and rows that you want in your table and set the desired auto-fit behavior. Click OK when you are ready. The table appears on screen. You can also create a table using the Draw Table command in the Table menu. However, this method is only recommended for use with a graphics tablet. The Draw Table action turns your cursor into a pencil. Click and drag the pencil to create the table outline. Add rows and columns by manually drawing them. Two new tabs appear when you insert a table in a Word document. The first tab is Table Design. This tab provides commands to change the appearance of your table. The second tab is Layout. This tab provides commands to change the structure of your table. You don't always have to create your own table. Word also provides some sample tables for common tasks. These are called quick tables. Here's a look at how to add these to a document. To add a quick table to your document, click Insert, Table, Quick Tables, and click a thumbnail. The table appears in your document ready to modify. There may be instances when you need to create a table containing Excel data. You can do this using the table features in Word. To create a table containing Excel data, click to place your cursor where you want the spreadsheet to go. Then click Insert, Table, and Excel Spreadsheet. The Excel Embedded Object interface appears in your Word document. You can now enter your data using the Excel interface. If you have a lot of Excel data to enter, it may be easier to create the file in Excel. You can then paste the data in Microsoft Word. Or you can create an embedded object with it. When you are finished, press the Escape key, or click a blank part of the document to return to Microsoft Word. When you are working with a table, you can click in any cell to move to it. You can also navigate through a table using the keyboard shortcuts. Take a moment to review these shortcuts. To move one cell to the right, select Tab, or the right arrow key if the cell is empty. Press Shift and Tab to move one cell to the left, or the left arrow if it's an empty cell. Press the up arrow to move one row up, and the down arrow to move one row down. You can also use keyboard shortcuts to navigate table rows. To quickly navigate to the first row in the table, press Alt and Page up. Press Alt and Page down to jump to the last row. Finally, you can navigate columns. Select Alt and Home to navigate to the first column, or Alt and End for the last column in your table. Finally, take a look at non-printing characters in tables. Here's a table with data. The table's borders have been turned off or hidden. You can reveal the hidden borders by selecting a cell within the table and then view grid lines from the Table Tools Layout tab. The hidden borders are displayed as a dotted line. You can also view special markers to see where the end of the table's rows and columns appear. Just select the Hidden Characters icon on the Home tab. And don't worry about how these might affect your final document. Hidden characters and borders are never printed. They're just there for guidance. You're now familiar with the structure of tables and the different ways to insert tables in a Word document. Great work! Microsoft Word offers a great set of tools for building tables. And you can also use Word to modify tables as needed. Here's a look at how Thomas and Westcal made use of these features and tools. Thomas previously created a table in Word to show Westcal's spending in their first fiscal quarter. He now needs to create another table showing the company's spending in their second fiscal quarter. Thomas can create this second table by copying the first one. He can then use Word's table modification tools to update the information in the cells. Microsoft Word's table modification tools are perfect for this task. Using the tools available in Word, you can insert and delete or move and resize rows and columns, customize cell margins, and set table titles. You can also use Layout contextual tab commands and use Table Properties dialog box commands. So how can you use these tools to modify tables? To select a table, place your mouse over any part of the table. Next, click the four-headed arrow icon above the top left corner of the table. You can also click and drag over the table or any of its parts to select it. Or use the Select menu on the Table Tools Layout tab to select a table or its parts. Just as with regular text, selecting parts of a table tells Word what you want to modify. Once you've added a table to Word, you can begin to modify it. Many of the most common modification commands can be found in the Layout Contextual tab. To open the tab, select a table or place your cursor inside one. You can then access the commands as you need them. The Table Group command lets you work within the entire table. Select Draw Group to manually draw a table, columns or rows. You can also access the Eraser command from here. Select the Rows and Columns group to modify the table's rows and columns. Modify cells using Merge Group. Modify row and column sizes using Cell Size Group. Select the Alignment Group command to change how text is displayed in cells. Finally, you can use the Data Group to modify how table data is arranged. Next, check out the Table Properties dialog box. This is where you can find most table settings. First, select the portion of the table that you want to format. Then click Table Tools Layout tab and the Properties command. You can also right-click the table and click Table Properties. The Table Properties dialog box appears on screen. The Table tab is used to set width, alignment, indent, and text wrapping. It also contains commands for the Borders and Shading dialog box. In addition, you can find commands for the Table Options dialog box, which is used to set cell margins and spacing. Select the Row tab to specify the row height and determine if your table can break across pages. In the Column tab, you can specify your preferred column width. Use the Cell tab to specify preferred width and alignment. The tab also contains an Options button, which opens a dialog box. You can use this box to set cell margins and wrap options. And finally, you can use the Alt Text tab to specify alternative text for the table, which will improve its accessibility. You can also modify a table by inserting and deleting or moving and resizing rows and columns. These are simple tasks that you can perform using commands from the Layout Context tab. To insert a row, move your cursor to the beginning of the row, after which you want the new row to appear. Then click the Insert Row icon. You can use the same technique to insert columns. You can find these same commands on the right-click menu of the mini toolbar and the Rows and Columns group of the Table Tools Layout tab. Another method of deleting a row or column is to select all cells with your mouse, then press Backspace on your keyboard to delete them. To delete an entire table, select all cells with your mouse and then press Backspace. We've seen how you can add and delete cells, but how do you move and resize them? To manually adjust the size of rows or columns, click and drag the row or column separator. You can double-click the separator itself if you want Word to fit the row or column to its text. Set the height of rows and the width of columns in the Cell Size group on the Table Tools Layout tab. This can apply to all rows and columns or just those you have selected. The Distribute Rows command makes all selected rows the same height. Distribute Columns makes all selected columns the same width. Finally, you can use the AutoFit commands to have Word automatically size your table based on various criteria. To move columns or rows, use the Cut, Copy and Paste commands. Now that the rows and tables have been modified, custom spacing can be added within the cell margins. To customize the amount of white space between the table's cell borders and their contents, click Table Tools Layout, then Cell Margins. You can also click the Options button in the Table tab of the Table Properties dialog box. Type your cell margins measurements into the dialog box, then select OK. These settings can only be applied to the entire table. What happens if you have more than one table in a document? What other methods can you use to distinguish between them? To add a title to the table, click Table Tools Layout, then Table Properties. This opens the Table Properties dialog box. Click the Alt Text tab. You can enter a title and description for your table in this tab. Click OK to apply the title to the table. It will not be visible in the document, but will be accessible by screen readers and other accessibility programs. Just like Thomas and Westcal, you're now familiar with the tools and features available for selecting, modifying and customizing tables in your Microsoft Word document. Great job. Once you are familiar with the basics of creating tables, you can use a predefined style to format different elements of a table, like styles and fonts. Here's how Westcal make use of this feature. Westcal are approaching the end of their financial year. They have created several tables within Word to show the company's spending during each fiscal quarter. Thomas has been tasked with creating an end-of-year financial report in Word that contains each of these tables. He must make sure that the formatting of each table conforms to Westcal's branding guidelines. Using Microsoft Word, Thomas can align the tables with Westcal's brand. He just needs to format them with the use of predefined styles from the Styles gallery on the Table Design ribbon. Microsoft Word offers several different techniques for formatting tables. Some examples of these techniques include applying styles from the Styles gallery in the Table Design ribbon to a table, changing fonts used within a table, and altering tables with the Table Tools Table Design Context tab commands. So, how do you apply these formatting techniques to a table? The Table Styles gallery in the Table Design ribbon is a good starting point. The use of different table styles from the Table Styles gallery in the Table Styles ribbon is the easiest way to format a table. To apply a style from the Styles gallery, place your cursor inside the table. Then click one of the thumbnails in the Table Styles gallery on the Table Tools Table Design tab. Like with Word's other style galleries, you can click the up and down arrows to navigate through the available styles, or click the More arrow to see all styles. A preview of each style that you can apply to your table appears as you move your mouse over the thumbnails in the Styles gallery. If you need to clear a style from a table, select the Clear command from the bottom of the table. Now you've chosen a style for the table, you need to find a matching font. Here's a look at how to modify fonts. There are a few ways that you can modify the fonts used in a table. The easiest way is to select the desired text and then use the commands on the Home tab or mini toolbar, just as you would with regular text. Or you can modify the table style to change the font. Just be careful, as this will change the font for any table that uses the same style. To begin, right-click the Style thumbnail from the Table Styles gallery on the Table Tools Table Design tab. Then click Modify Table Style. This opens the Modify Style dialog box. In the middle of this dialog box, you will see commands to change the font face, style, effects, and color. You can access more advanced options by clicking Format, then Font to open the Font dialog box. Here's how you can make a few quick changes. Once you have finished making your changes, click OK in all open dialog boxes to apply the style modifications. The selected modifications then appear in the table. Westcal now have a formatted table. As well as the Style gallery, there's also several other design commands on the Table Tools Design tab. Next, take a quick look at the groups. You can use the Table Style Options group to toggle different types of table formatting on and off. You can control the appearance of the table with the Table Style group. And finally, you can customize the table borders with the Borders group. You're now up to speed with formatting a table using the Table Styles gallery, Fonts and Design Context tab commands. You can now create predefined styles to use across your Word documents. When building tables with Word, you might find that you need to move your data into another program. And you might also need to move data into a Word document. Word offers two powerful conversion tools for performing these tasks, which Westcal recently found a use for. Thomas has created Westcal's financial report in Word. It contains several tables showing their fiscal spending for each quarter. He's been tasked with converting this Word document into a .txt or plain text file. Thomas has also downloaded a separate .text file from a client, which he needs to convert into a table. Thomas can perform both tasks using Word's conversion tools. While not all data programs support Word's default format, most do support files such as plain text or comma-separated values, also known as .csv. There are two conversion tools available in Microsoft Word. You can convert data from another source to a table within a Microsoft Word document using the Convert Text to Table dialog box. And likewise, you can convert a table from a Microsoft Word document into a plain text or .text file using the Convert Table to Text dialog box. It's now time to look at how these tools work, starting with the Convert Text to Table dialog box. To convert data into a table, first select the target data. Be advised that this tool only works if the text is correctly separated. Then click Insert, Table, and Convert Text to Table. The tool appears on screen with a list of options. With these tools, you can specify the number of columns required, determine how Word should auto-fit the text, and decide how the text is to be separated. Word populates this information from the table by default. but always double check the settings to make sure they match your requirements. Click OK when you are ready to proceed. Your text is transformed into a table. Note that you might need to adjust the table or fix the formatting. Next, here's how to convert a table into plain text with the Convert Table to Text dialog box. First, select the table that you want to convert to plain text. Then click Convert to Text in the Data group of the Table Tools Layout tab. The Convert Table to Text dialog box appears on screen. Next, specify how you want your data to be separated. It's best to pick either tabs or commas. Select OK to convert the table. Your table appears as plain text. To complete the conversion, save your document as a plain text or .text file. You now know how to use the conversion tools in Microsoft Word to convert data from Word into plain text files and move data from other sources into a Word document. Great work. Microsoft Word is designed mainly for word processing, but it does offer tools for managing table-based data. Here's a quick look at how Westcal make use of these tools. Grace is creating a newsletter to promote a sale of Westcal titles in California University bookshops. She has a list of subscribers to Westcal's newsletter open in Word. She needs to sort the list by region so that she can identify subscribers based in California and target them directly. Grace can use Word's sort command to identify the newsletter subscribers by region. Word offers users several powerful tools for sorting data and controlling the layout of cells. Over the next few minutes, you'll explore each of these tools, and by the end of this lesson, you will be able to sort table data and control cell layout. To start with, here's an overview of how to sort table data using the sort command. The sort command on the Table Tools Layout tab is an excellent tool for arranging data in any way you want. Just select the required column and then select the command to reorganize the information. So how do you sort table data in a document? As an example, look at this table. Currently, the areas appear in the order that they were entered. If you wanted to sort the areas alphabetically, you could place our cursor in that column or select the appropriate data. Then click the Sort command on the Table Tools Layout tab. You can also sort lists and paragraphs using the Home and Sort command. Now you can choose how to sort the data. These settings are the default. The table is sorted in ascending A to Z order based on the contents of the first column. However, they will include the header row if the header row option is checked in the box. To exclude the header row, select No Header Row. Here is the result after clicking OK. You're now familiar with managing table-based data by sorting data in different ways. Nice work. Have you ever struggled with managing the layout of data or text in your tables? With Microsoft Word, you can choose from a range of tools to control the layout of cells in your tables. Take a look at how Westcal makes use of these tools. Grace is creating a table within a Word document that contains a list of new titles Westcal is planning to publish. Before publishing the table, she checks it against Westcal's branding guidelines. These guidelines state that all table headers must be placed vertically to the left of the table itself. Grace's header is currently horizontally aligned in the table's header row. She needs to find a way to alter this header using the cell layout commands in Microsoft Word. With Microsoft Word, there are several commands available to Grace that she can use to control the layout of her table cells and vertically align her heading text. These commands include the ability to merge cells, split cells, change the alignment of text within cells, and change the direction of text within cells. Now it's time to open a document and discover how to make use of these commands. To start with, here's an overview of changing the direction of text within a cell. For example, changing horizontal text to vertical text. Select the text within the table that you want to change the direction of. Then click the Text Direction command on the Table Tools Layout tab. This command acts as a toggle with the image of the button reflecting the current direction of the text. Next, take a look at cell merging. First, select the cells that you would like to merge. Then click Merge Cells on the Table Tools Layout tab or on the right-click menu. Note that this command will only be available if multiple cells are selected. Once you click the command, the cells are then merged to form one cell. You can also use the Split Cells command to divide your table. First, select the cell you want to split. Then click the Split Cells command on the Table Tools Layout tab. Word requires you to configure the split. Enter the desired dimensions and click OK. Word then performs the split. With Microsoft Word's cell layout commands, you can also control the alignment of data within cells. First, select the table that you need to align. Then select an alignment command from the paragraph group on the Home tab. The cells are now aligned with your selected command. You can also adjust the horizontal alignment of individual cells by selecting them and then using these commands. To change both the horizontal and vertical alignment of a cell, you can use the commands in the Alignment group of the Table Tools Layout tab. All these commands can be used on one or multiple cells. You're now up to speed with the tools Microsoft Word offers for controlling the layout of cells. You know how to use these tools to merge and split cells, change their alignment, and change the direction of text. Great job! You might already be familiar with how to create bulleted and numbered lists, but do you know how to sort the information in these lists? Microsoft Word has several sorting tools that you can use to sort text in a document. Westcal often makes use of this tool. Take a moment to find out how. Thomas is assisting Westcal with some admin work. As part of his tasks, he's creating a list of Westcal's medical titles, along with other key information, such as their respective ISBNs. He needs to provide an alphabetical list of titles and a second numerical list of ISBNs. Thomas can use Microsoft Word to sort the lists both alphabetically and numerically. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover the methods that can be used to create these types of lists. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to sort a list, renumber a list, and customize a list. To start off, you'll learn how to sort a list, but before you can sort lists, take a moment to review the different data types available. The first sort type is text. With Microsoft Word, you can sort data numerically and then alphabetically. You can also use the number sort type to sort data numerically. Finally, you can use the date sort type to sort items in chronological order using either dates or times. All three of these sort types let you sort lists in either ascending or descending order. When sorting data, you need to select sort types from sort fields. Sort fields set the criteria by which data is sorted. For example, you could have Word sort a table by first name and then last name to get an alphabetical list. You can choose up to 3 fields when sorting data within a table in Microsoft Word. Take a few minutes to discover how to make use of sort fields to sort through your data. To sort text, first select the items you want to sort. Next, click the Sort command on the Home tab. The Sort Text dialog box appears on screen. You can use this dialog box to set sort field, data type, and sort order. When you have set the options in the dialog box and are ready to sort your chosen text, click OK. Your data is sorted according to the chosen criteria. Don't forget that the Sort command can also be used to sort tables. When sorting tables, access the tool from the Table Tools Layout tab. Then follow the steps that you just covered to determine how your table data should be sorted. Note that you cannot do a multi-level sort on the text in a list. You're now familiar with sorting a list using sort types and sort fields. Have you ever found yourself needing to divide a list within a document in order to continue it elsewhere? Or maybe you wanted to set a particular starting value for your list. With Microsoft Word, you can easily renumber and customize list values. Check in with Westcal to see how they're working with list values. Thomas is updating lists of novels published by Westcal. The lists are organized by genre. Thomas needs to add the most recent titles published in each genre to the existing lists. A key part of this task is ensuring that the numbering styles in each of these lists remains the same as new titles are added. To start off, take a few moments to review the methods for renumbering a list. To add to an existing list, first place your cursor at the end of the last item in the current list. Then press Enter and type your text. If you have used the same numbering style for a second list, you can right-click the second set of numbers and choose to continue the numbering. If you have continued the numbering, a Restart at 1 command will also be available. You can also click Set Numbering Value from this menu. This lets you choose whether you want to start a new list, continue the previous one, and what starting value to set for the list. Select OK to apply your selection. You can also access this command from the Numbering menu on the Home tab. Great work! You're now familiar with renumbering and customizing list values in Microsoft Word. Like many other features in Microsoft Word, lists offer several customization options, particularly when dealing with multi-level lists. There are many different examples of when multi-level lists and list customization options can be of use, as the following case study with Westcal shows. Thomas is creating the contents pages for Westcal's latest academic textbook. These pages are complex and involve the creation of multi-level lists that outline page numbers for chapters, sections, and reference material. He needs to build these multi-level lists and make sure that they are formatted correctly. Thomas can complete these tasks with Microsoft Word's list customization options. Before you find out how to customize lists, you first need to familiarize yourself with multi-level lists and the customization options available. A multi-level list is a hierarchical list that has multiple levels of points and subpoints. Each of these levels has their own ordering scheme, such as letters, numbers and bullets, and their own style. As with a bulleted or numbered list, multi-level lists can be applied to existing text, or they can be created as you type. Here's an overview of the different options that can be used to customize lists. The first option is changing list levels. You can move items within a list up or down the list level. In other words, you can promote or demote items within the list hierarchy. With Word, you also can define new multi-level lists by customizing the appearance of each level in a list. You can customize the font, color, bullet style, and other elements. Finally, you can define a new list style. This is a custom style which is applied to the selected list. The style is also saved to Word so that it can be used again in other documents. Now that you're familiar with the concept of multi-level lists and the available customization options, you can review the creation and customization processes. To start with, here's a look at creating multi-level lists. To create a multi-level list from existing text, select the target text. Then click Home, Multi-Level List, and choose the desired style. You can also customize your lists by increasing and decreasing list levels. In other words, moving one or more lines up or down the list level. To demote an item, in other words, to move it down a list level, select the line or multiple lines. Then click the Increase Indent command in the paragraph group of the Home tab. You can also press Tab. The next level in the list formatting is applied. To move an item up a level, also known as promoting an item, you first need to select a line. Then click the Decrease Indent command or press Shift and Tab. Next, explore the steps for creating a multi-level list from scratch. To create a new multi-level list, click Home and then the Multi-Level List command. Then type your list as normal. Promote and demote items as necessary using the commands. If you are already working with a bulleted or numbered list and you choose to demote items, Microsoft Word will automatically convert the list to a multi-level list. Next, take a look at different styles of list. Here are two style options under the multi-level list command. The top option, Define New Multi-Level List, allows you to customize the appearance of each level of the list. The second option, Define New List Style, allows you to create a custom style for the list. You can then save your custom style to the document template to make it available in other documents. Once you have defined a style using either of these methods, it will appear in the multi-level list drop-down menu. Take a closer look at the gallery that opens when you click the multi-level list command. The gallery contains all lists currently in use, a library of available styles and custom styles if there are any available within the document template. At the bottom of the menu, there are commands to change the current list level, which will be unavailable if a list item is not selected, define a new multi-level list, or define a new list style. You can also customize many of the formatting aspects of the lists in the same way that you would with regular text. A common example of customizing formatting is increasing spacing. You can increase the spacing between list items using the line and paragraph spacing command on the Home tab. Select the list you want to increase spacing within, select the paragraph dialog box, then uncheck the option Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Spacing is then added between your selected paragraphs. You now know how to customize a list in Microsoft Word using multi-level lists, list levels, and formatting. Good work. You now know how to work with text, tables, and lists in Microsoft Word. Take a moment to recap on what you've learned. You can format text, including characters, alignment, and display. You know how to format your paragraphs by controlling their layout and working with borders and shading. You're familiar with how to add, modify, and format tables, including how to convert table data. You can work with tables by sorting data and controlling cell layout. And finally, you know how to manage lists, including sorting and renumbering the items they contain and customizing their appearance. You've reached the end of this module. Great work.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share it with them. We would love to hear your thoughts on this learning course, so please leave a comment below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.